Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Greetings, Redheads. This is Jay Red from the infamous Reds View. I am your gracious host on this wonderful show, this wonderful podcast, whatever you want to call it. Make sure that you subscribe to youtube.com/Reds View. Also, be sure to hit the like button and the dislike button. It's all good. I just need some engagement. If you are watching these videos and you're enjoying these videos, if you disagree with these videos, give me some engagement. Hit the like button or the dislike button. Shout out to everybody for joining in. Make sure that you follow me on all not streaming platforms, but social media handles at JAYR3D. So yeah, man, hopefully everybody's having a productive week. I know I am. We did my show a couple of days ago. The man cave discussion, it has been going good. If you haven't checked that out, man, it's a new edition I'm doing for Reds View, and it's basically a panel of men. That's why it's called Man Cave Discussion, millennial men. And we're giving dating advice, but not just dating advice. We're giving insight for women when it comes to dating. We're giving insight on what a man wants, what a man needs, what he likes, what he dislikes, all the negative stigmas that are out there. We address it on that show. So it's a real healthy forum, a real healthy panel. Some women, of course, you're going to trigger some women or whatever, but hey, it's all good. Make sure that you check out that man cave discussion. But anyway, man, you know why we're here. Look at the shirt that I got on. Jackson State. HBCU pride. HBCU pride. Now, I didn't attend Jackson State. I graduated from Jackson State. I didn't go to Jackson State. I graduated from Jackson State, the Jackson State University. And we've been all in the press, all in the headlines. It is the hottest topic in the last 5 days, I want to say. And it's talking about Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. So let's talk about this. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. I love. My experience at Jackson State, I graduated years ago, but it was fun. It was great. And we've never been talked about like this on a large scale. We've always been a lit school. We've always been great in the academe and talked about. We've won the SWAC championships a few times and everything like that. But right now, it's red hot with all the controversy surrounding Deion Sanders. So I want to get this off my chest. I made a video about this a few days ago, and this is before I kept saying allegedly Deion Sanders was leaving Jackson State. I gave my thoughts. I gave my opinions on it. A lot of people agreed. Some people disagreed, but it's official now, unless you've been living under a rock. Deion Sanders is no longer the coach at Jackson State. He is the head coach at Colorado. In Colorado, Boulder, Colorado, isn't that what it is? I just know it's a PWI, Power 5 school. And there's been a lot of controversy surrounding it. Everybody has had their thoughts, opinions, beliefs, everything like that. And I believe that JSU got finessed by Deion Sanders. Not Coach Prime, but Deion Sanders. Now, Coach Prime did wonders for JSU. Coach Prime donated to JSU half his salary. Coach Prime brought top recruits to JSU, the football team. Coach Prime brought national media attention to JSU, Jackson State University. Coach Prime had a new facility built for the football players at Jackson State University in a new field. He brought his sponsors to JSU. Great thing. Like I said, just that national spotlight. It's been hot. It's been hot. Coach Prime has made a difference in some kids' lives. You know, I'm talking about all the good stuff before I get into the negative. But Coach Prime made kids and young athletes look up and say, man, I should attend the HBCU. They got it cracking over there. He used his celebrity. He used his notoriety, brought that to JSU, and had the limelight on JSU. No cap. He did an amazing job. The attendance numbers went up for the games. You saw 50,000, 60,000 people in attendance for home games at JSU, sellout games. It's been phenomenal, right? But people in the Black community, in the HBCU community, we're upset not at Deion Sanders leaving. It's the fact that he sold a dream. He sold a dream, right? But first, before, it's some stuff that we can learn from this. It's some stuff that we can learn from this, and I'm going to give that stuff a little later, but I want to address some elephants that are in the room. I saw a meme that went around, and it says something like Black people aren't complaining, aren't going in on Brett Favre. I'm paraphrasing, but they're not going in on Brett Favre for stealing money out of the you know what he was stealing money for, right? From the state of Mississippi, the welfare funds. Black people aren't mad about that, but they're going in on Deion Sanders. I saw that meme. Let me see. You know what? Let me see if I can find it, just so we can speak in proper context. I know Snoop and Cameron shared it. Let me see if I can find it real quick, so we can have a great perspective. I hate paraphrasing stuff. I like to be actual factual up in this thing. So let me see it. Okay, here we go. Let me share my screen. Shout out for everybody for joining. Okay. So I'm on my IG. Let's look right here. All right. So check this out. One made money from Mississippi. One took money from Mississippi. Guess which one Black people are relentlessly talking about? Now, this meme is cap. This meme is cap. I just want to go ahead and address this right here. Okay. These are completely different situations. This implies that all Black people in Mississippi are on welfare. All Black people are not on welfare. And what the biggest thing is, Black people from Mississippi and around the world call this out. All through the nation, we called this out, the whole Brett Favre scandal. It was the national media, the white media, that did not call this out. That's who you should be upset about. It was them. We were the ones in the grassroots talking about it. Now, the national media talked about it, but not in as much as everybody's talking about the Deion Sanders stuff right now. See, the difference is the Brett Favre thing affected more than just Black people in the Black community. That affected the state of Mississippi. There are more than Black people that are on welfare. Actually, in America, there are more white people on welfare than Black people. So just comparing the two is cap. Deion dealt directly with the Black community with the HBCU thing. It's a HBCU. So two different things. So this is cap. So I wanted to address that. Y'all clearly was just trying to get some likes, some comments, stir up some controversy. Please stop it. All right. But another thing that I want to address is this whole ticket scandal thing that's going on. Let me share my screen with you regarding this. Hold on. So there's been a video floating around about Deion talking about JSU ticket sales or whatever, right? And first, let's play the video. This is just a clip. I'm gonna play the audio clip from it. Not gonna play the whole thing, but listen.
How can we have 60,000 people in the darn stadium? You talking about we sold out, and I checked the receipts, and we have sold 28,000 tickets. Now y'all better find out who's stealing, because that affects my pocket.
So he said that. Let's play that again real quick.
How can we have 60,000 people in the darn stadium? You talking about we sold out, and I checked the receipts, and we have sold 28,000 tickets. Now y'all better find out who's stealing, because that affects my pocket.
All right. So to address that, this is a response to it from Jackson State. I'm gonna show this on my Facebook. Otha Kane. Shout out to Otha Kane. This is a statement for WLBT. That's a news station in Jackson. Jackson State University has honored all financial obligations of Coach Deion Sanders' employment. The video in question was filmed on September 20th on our campus. Unfortunately, a seconds-long excerpt of a hypothetical example from an over 60-minute interview is being used out of context and circulated as fact. Division of Athletics. So that's cap number 2. That's cap number 2. See that right there? We debunked that. All right. Um, and one thing I just want to talk about as far as the finesse, right? When Deion came to JSU, the whole thing was blackity black, 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 black. I want the spotlight on HBCUs. He painted himself as this Jesus, this savior for historically black colleges and universities. Oh, it was, we need more lights. We need more national attention. We need more exposure. Top recruits need to not go to just don't go to PWIs. They need to come here, right? He sold us a dream. He sold us a dream. Now, I'm not nobody. I don't think a lot of people are upset with him getting a bigger bag, getting $5 million that they don't have yet, opposed to the $1.2 million that he was going to get in like 4 years from Jackson State. I don't think that people are upset about him, what he calls elevating. We're talking about strictly him and his dream that he sold us. Shout out to Quinn Beasley. Yes, the Messiah complex. Exactly. He came in being trying to be the Messiah, painted this picture just like the pastors in those mega churches. Yes, I'm going there. They're selling you a dream for personal gain. I can bring up religion, and in the Bible Belt in Mississippi, Alabama, Mississippi, and other states, you bring that up, you sell black people. Like, you could sell it to black people just like that. Because we have in the black community a Jesus complex when it comes to certain things. We love God. As one of those comedians said, don't nobody love God more than black people. So that's what Deion did. He came in, sold it that he's for us, right? He's the one that said it wasn't about the money. He's the one that said, I want to do, I want to do, I want to do. So I compare it like this, right? If let's first start from what he wanted to do. He wanted to coach after coaching high school. He wanted to be a head coach. He wanted to coach at Florida State. He wanted to coach at a PWI. Thank you for hitting that heart button, y'all. He wanted to coach at a PWI, but they didn't give him the opportunity. So he decided, hey, I'm going to go to someone who's offering me this position at HBCU, and I'm going to build myself up for them to want me. See, we know that Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, has an ego. And we've been on that for like the last 30 plus years. All good. But this is what he did. So I compare it like this. If I'm a skilled person that knows how to construct, I know how to build houses, and I want to go into a white neighborhood, let's go there, where there are a bunch of nice houses, big houses, mansions, and stuff like that. I go to them and say, hey, I want to build some houses over here. I know I just started, but I'm skilled. I've been practicing. I know I can do it. Let me do that. And they say, nah, Negro. No, you're not touching none of this stuff over here. You're not building none of these houses. You go somewhere else. So I say, okay, I'm going to go into a impoverished community. I'm going to go to the hood where they're deprived of resources. And I have a $1 million mindset of building big houses, big properties, big houses, mansions. So I go to an individual and I say, hey, or individuals in the community, I say, hey, I'm a skilled worker, constructor. I do construction. I can build you a house. And they say, okay, cool. I'm like, look, I want to give back to this community. This is where I come from. This is where I started. They're not giving me no opportunity. So I'm going to be here and I'm going to build a bunch of houses. They're going to be real, real nice. They're going to be lavish, and it's going to look like a whole new neighborhood. Not only that, but I'm going to bring a lot of resources that I have into this neighborhood and build up some grocery stores that are healthy and institutions and all this other stuff. So while I'm building, in the middle of it, there's talk around town that Jay Red is over here building this impoverished community and making it look like $1 million. Halfway through it, white people start noticing in those nice neighborhoods and stuff, and they come and be like, oh man, look at that. And white people are thinking about moving into that once J Red gets finished. So what happens is the white folks look at it and be like, man, he's building those houses. And I'm saying, hey, I'm doing this off of the love of my heart. I know you can only give me $20,000 to do this, even though I know it's worth millions of dollars. But I'm doing this from the kindness of my heart because I want to build. I want to build. And then they look at that and be like, okay, you know what? We're gonna give him. He's getting 20,000 there. We're gonna give him $1 million. We're gonna give him $1 million and pull him out of there because we can't have that. We don't want our people going there, and we don't want them to be a level above us. So that's like me starting it. And then saying, you know what? I know I started building this and everything like that. Everything's still under construction, but I gotta bounce. Y'all find somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. That's like me doing that. And how would that community feel? That community would feel like it's a slap in the face because I started with them and made it about them, saying how much I wanted to do for that community, but I'm leaving. I'm leaving and going to a white neighborhood where they got more resources and stuff for me, just so I can go over there and go to where I was rejected at. That's exactly what Coach Prime did. But there's some stuff that we can learn from this. There's stuff that we can actually learn from this, black people, for real. The first thing is money always matters. Money always matters. Even when it doesn't matter, it does matter. Because according to the people that disagree with what I'm saying, you got to always think about your family first, which is true. It has validity to that. You got to think about your family first. You got to think about elevating. And it's funny you talk about elevation. Basically, you leave a black school, winning black team, mostly black team. You leave that for a losing. Keep in mind, Colorado was 1-10. You leave that winning team, the winning formula, to go to a school to help build them up. That's 1-10. But anyway, money always matters. If somebody comes to you and say the money don't matter, you have to look at it with a side eye because there's a strong possibility that they could leave you hanging. So money does matter. According to everybody, all the reports, everybody, money matters. Second thing, don't fall for the religion. Yes, I said it. Don't fall for the religion. If somebody comes to you and overly talks about Jesus, overly talks about the Bible, overly talks about and like they're preaching just so much stuff, you got to start looking at it with a side eye because they know anybody that does that a lot, sometimes it could be a shield for something that you don't know. They could be doing that, selling that dream to you, selling that religion to you to make a shield for something else, their other intentions. So when somebody approaches you with that, black folks, like Deion did, bringing in God, because that's what he did, you got to watch that. Third thing, black people don't like to build with each other. Black people do not like to build with each other. And the reason I say that is because not just singling out Deion, I look closely at the black people who were saying certain things. They were like that, the elevation thing. Think about the Negro Leagues. The Negro Leagues was one of the most lucrative businesses that the black community has ever built. But what happened to it? Our players started going to the MLB where they were accepted, Jackie Robinson. And from my understanding, there was other players that were offered that, but they didn't go. But we integrated into that. And look where we're at now. Just imagine if the Negro Leagues were still alive, still thriving. Man, oh my God. We would have had a community that competes. Like back in the day, we had WWF and WCW. We would have had MLB and a Negro Leagues. Places where like HBC you go out of there, you can play for the Negro League. Well, it wouldn't be called Negro Leagues, I'm sure, but you would have an option to make just as much money or more. But they would have, because you know what was happening during this little history lesson, what was happening with the Negro Leagues, the white community wanted to come to the Negro Leagues because that's where the talent, the top talent, the who's of who was there. Shout out to Joseph, my brother. What you say? Black people don't like to build with each other. That's correct. But yeah, so Black people don't like to build with each other because if you look at it, a lot of people are saying you need to elevate, you need to move on, get over it, instead of being where you are, create that foundation for those top recruits to come to the HBCU to compete with the Power Fives. That's what Deion was selling to us. So why aren't you upset that he didn't fulfill those obligations? And he didn't do it all the way. Doing it for 2 years, 2.5 years, come on, man. That ain't doing it all the way. Yes, he did phenomenal stuff for us, but based off of the dream he sold, he didn't fulfill those obligations that he said he was going to do. It wasn't contracted. We're going off based off of what he said. But we don't like to build with each other because the minute we get offered more money, oh, we go to someone else. So if you're for the people, if you're quote unquote pro-Black, if you are woke or conscious, right? If you despise white people, whatever you want to call that, right? Does money matter over the culture, over your foundation? Because it may take some time, but Deion had already showed us that it is highly possible. Imagine if Deion would have stayed for 5 years, and I'm not just saying just Deion. If more coaches, more celebrities, whoever comes in, that showed us that we can do it. It's just that Deion didn't last long enough for us to really see it blossom, right? He gave us a smidget of what it could be, but it could be larger. But yeah, we don't like to build with each other. That's what it showed me based off of what y'all saying. We don't like to build a foundation. The minute we start building and we, for less money, even though we can multiply it and let it build, we see that, and then we see millions of dollars from the white man, from white institutions. Oh yeah, we're gonna go where the money is. That hustle, get money mentality is great for when you want to make money. But my whole thing is with Deion, he sold it wasn't about the money. Now all of a sudden I got to do what's best for me and my family. That's what I'm looking at. So yeah. So the first one, to piggyback, money always matters. Don't fall for the religion. And Black people don't like to build. My fourth one is people will defend who they believe in. I believe. So you have the I lovers, which is myself, and then you have the I believers. I believe, right? Deion can do no wrong in some people's eyes. He has a cult following. Kanye has a cult following. I think it's kind of fallen off a little bit. Kanye has a cult following. Beyonce has a cult following. Drake has a cult following, right? If people believe in something, no matter how bad that person is or the bad things that person does, they're going to believe in it and they're going to ride with it. You got a bunch of people that are supporting. You got people that are upset with Deion, but you got a lot of people who are supporting him as well. Oh, yes, Coach Prime. Yes, because he gets on there and spits Bible verses and talks about motivation and stuff like that. And sometimes that's all you need in the Black community. So people will support who they want to support and defend who they want to defend if they look at them not just as their savior, but a role model, a big public figure that they believe in, somebody that they believe in. They'll support them no matter what. And last but not least, number 5, white people are always watching us, Black people. White people, the white community is always watching us. Our every move, they're watching us. Because when Travis Hunter went to an HBCU, he was number 1 in the nation, the number 1 recruit in the nation. When he went to JSU, oh man, white folks, them Power 5 schools, Nick Saban, they were upset. And you know what they did? They were like, we can never let something like that happen again. We can never let nothing like that happen again. We ain't even got the money to pay Coach Prime, but we're going to guarantee it. We're going to promise it. You seen the video. They don't have the money to pay Coach Prime, but guess what? They're going to find it. They had to throw a wrench in the machine. They had to mess that up for us because they saw the growth and they saw that, damn, these Negroes are really thinking together. Deion really is making a difference. So we got to do something about this. So you look at the most, even Stephen A was saying he didn't want Deion to go there, but the team with one of the worst records, 1-10, they were able to sign this man for $5 million. So my thing is, if it's about money, Deion could have got way more than $5 million from a losing team. I would have, me personally, I just would have stuck around till I got more money, a better deal. But yeah, Beasley, what you say? They took the talent but left the infrastructure of the Negro League. Took the players but left the coaches and owners. Also, so let me just go through my 5 things again, okay? What we can learn. Money always matters, even though they say it doesn't. Don't fall for the religion. Black people don't like to build. People will defend who they believe in, I believe. And number 5, white people are always watching us, i.e. the Negro Leagues. They do. But did y'all hear about what happened today? Don't you know that the Mississippi Valley head coach, he's actually leaving his position to go work with Deion? And I think he's going to be an assistant coach or on the staff or something like that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's a ripple effect. So my thing is, I want to ask the people who are claim to be so for the Black community, is it money over the culture? Is it money over us? Because it's a lot of hypocrites, I feel like, right now, man. It's a lot of hypocrites. And Deion is going to be Deion. Deion did this for Deion. Deion, Coach Prime, phenomenal. But Deion did this for Deion. But for the Black people who support him, which one is it? Are you about building Black wealth, building Black people? Because a lot of the times everybody was criticizing the HBCUs. Well, they need more funding. How come they didn't try to match the deal? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Look, man, I feel it. I feel it. I'm not mad. Again, I'm not mad at Deion for getting more money. But what I wouldn't have done is sold a dream. Simply put. Black people should be upset about the dream that he sold. So stop capping, getting on here saying that Black people don't need to be mad, because we should be grateful. And let me say this. I want to really, really double down on this. JSU made Coach Prime relevant. Notice that I said in quotations right there. JSU made Coach Prime relevant. Not talking about Deion Sanders. But let me ask you this. Where was Deion Sanders coaching at before Jackson State? Think about that. Think about that for a second. Where was he coaching at before Jackson State? And what is he being talked about now? Because all the folks in my comments who were talking about, man, that's Deion Sanders. He's a legendary football player, legendary baseball player. He played in the Super Bowl. He played in the World Series. He did all this stuff. He's Coach Prime. I mean, he's prime time. Look, not taking that away from Deion Sanders, one of the best football players that ever lived, right? One of the biggest celebrities that ever lived. But who was talking about him in large bulk before Jackson State? Before he came to Jackson State, who was talking about him? Deion has not been talked about like this, especially with social media, since he was playing football. And my homie Beasley, my dog, Beasley brought this up. Y'all talking about he had the Affleck commercials and different things like that. Did he have all those commercials before Jackson State or during his time at Jackson State? And also, the money that he was donating, people like to give this sobbing story like, oh my God, he donated his money. He donated half his money to JSU to build all this other stuff, right? Don't you know that he was having those endorsements and having those Affleck commercials and all that stuff? He was benefiting from JSU. Point blank, period. Don't act like he wasn't getting outside money. He was making money at Jackson State. Like, didn't he do some type of event where he invited Master P and all them down, and it was like $100 tickets and stuff? He was making money. Y'all acting like all he was getting was the $300,000 that JSU was giving him, and they cut that in, and he cut that in half. No, Deion was getting money. He was milking this shit. And I'm not mad at him. Do what you got to do, but don't act like he didn't use JSU as a stepping stone to get to where he was trying to go. JSU was already a popping school. I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about the culture at Jackson State. If you go to Jackson State homecoming, or you know people that talk about JSU, HBCUs in general, right? But especially JSU. It was iron sharpening iron. It was an even exchange. Now, of course, I'm not saying that we would have been on ESPN and College Game Day. Of course not. You know that was Deion pulling his resources and stuff. But who was or not Deion Sanders? Who was Coach Prime before JSU? I'm talking about the coach. The coach. Every time I ask somebody that question, they start deflecting or they don't answer it. Man, he could have went to any other school. I didn't ask you that. I asked you, what was he doing before this as far as being a coach? Where? Now, had he went to Mississippi Valley, Alcorn, Alabama A&M, FAMU, or any other HBCU, then came to Jackson State and he was Coach Prime, wouldn't be saying nothing. But Jackson State made him hot in these streets. He made us hot too in the national media, but we made him talked about. So got to put that out there. The coach aspect of it. I'm not talking about Deion Sanders, the football player, not prime time, Coach Prime. So yeah, do as you will with that. But back to him finessing JSU, right? It was strategic, and a lot of us would have taken the money, but I can tell you, I wouldn't have sold the dream. I would not have sold the dream on lying to my people, because in the press conferences now, what is he doing? He's giving all lives matter speeches, talking about, yeah, they talking about I left JSU and I left the African American community, but I'm black, if you ain't noticed. But it's not just about black people, it's about all people. Like, I'm trying to make a difference in all lives. And I'm like, oh, okay, Deion, now your tune is changing. It was about black at first. Now it's changing. It's changing, y'all. What was the change? It's about now, it ain't about the money, but now it's about I got to do what's best for my family. While all of that may be true, you sold a dream. You sold a dream. And this is the result of that. And you say he had to change. What do you mean by that, Joseph? You say he had to change. But okay, I think I get what you're saying. You're saying he had to change to appeal to them, to change up. But explain what you mean by that. But yeah, let me get a sip of water, y'all, because I'm going in. But Deion saw the finesse. Deion saw what he could do, and Deion did this for Deion Sanders. That's how I feel. That's how a lot of people feel. If you are watching right now, make sure you hit the like button, share this on Facebook, share this on YouTube. Make sure that you donate, support the show. $ J Red. It could be $1, $2, $3, 50, 100. It don't matter. Just support your content creators. If you love what we do, support us. But thank you everybody for joining in right now. So we got some more stuff to talk about. But yeah, point blank, to end off with this Deion thing, because it's a hot topic right now. I just want people to understand. If you don't understand why the black community, especially people who went to HBCUs and went to Jackson State, is upset with him leaving, it's not about him leaving, right? It's about the dream that he sold. That's it. And if you're coming here talking about, oh, well, how did he sell you a dream? He did everything he said he was going to do. No, you can't start building the house and then stop. That's what he did. How long does it take to build a house or a community? That's going to take some time. He stopped in the middle of it. He was doing good with what he was doing, but he stopped in the middle of it. If you go against that, you capping, bro. You are capping. And the hypocrisy is that when I speak on this, you're saying that I'm tearing down another black man for elevating. How come elevation always has to be going to where the white people are? How can it change? How can we change if we don't start from within? Say right now, all of the retired pro athletes decided to come, like black pro athletes decided to come to HBCUs like Deion did, right? That had notoriety and stuff like that, which some of them are. You know, shout out to Eddie George, shout out to Eddie Robinson Jr., right? But if all of them decided to come and not even coach, but donate and come in with their resources and say, hey, I want to support. Imagine how far we would go if all the recruits wanted to go there, because people are acting like he laid the blueprint and everybody's going to follow that. No, it's not going to be the same. The minute that Deion leaves, you think College Game Day is going to want to come back down to Jackson? Huh? Do you think that's what's going to happen? And another thing I want to point out, they were talking about the crime in Jackson. Colorado, ain't that the same place that they shoot up in the schools? I'm just asking about that. Deion, it's unfortunate, definitely about the stealing aspect and stuff like that, right? However, Deion decided to come to Jackson. He could have looked up the crime rate in Jackson. The crime rate in Jackson has been up in the last few years. I'm just saying. He still hasn't acknowledged what Jackson State did for him, only what he did for Jackson State. Absolutely. He's not. And you know what? He's an opportunist. So he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. And his followers and people that heavily support him aren't going to call him out on that either. But I am, and other people are. Jackson State, again, made Deion Sanders, well, not Deion Sanders. Jackson State made Coach Prime relevant. Without question. Now, let's dive into this real quick. I saw Irv Gotti say something. Let me see. Let me go to Hip Hop DX. This was interesting about Cash Money Records. I want to talk about this real quick to just take it to music. Can I take it to some music real quick? Is that all right with y'all? Check this out. We're gonna get in some real Res View stuff real quick. Take the attention off of Deion. Get here. All right, so Irv Gotti crowns Cash Money greatest hip hop label ever. No one's even close. Listen to this.
As far as labels goes, there's no disputing Cash Money is the greatest label ever.
Yeah, it is.
25 years still going.
Think about it.
Biggest artist.
That shit was out over 25,
23 years ago.
98.
98, 99, yeah.
Nigga, them niggas been hot.
Now they got NBA Young Boy.
Fair use.
I think is he signed? Is he?
Okay, so that's what he said, right? Irv Gotti said that Cash Money is the best rap label of all time. Fair use, by the way, fair use. Do y'all agree with that? Do you agree with that? Just taking the attention off Deion, let's talk about some music real quick. Do you agree that Cash Money is the best rap label of all time? I disagree with that. I think they're one of the longest running rap labels of all time, but I'm not going to sit here and say they're the best. I would say rap labels that are still here, you got to go with Def Jam. However, people give Cash Money, I feel like, more credit than they deserve. This is the only reason I say this. Cash Money isn't the same Cash Money that they originally were. That basically is a new label in the last few years. Because when they came out in the late 90s with Juvenile, BG, Turk, Wayne, Hot Boys, Big Timers, that was a different, like, that's different from Young Money. When Cash Money came out, there was a fall off period, if you remember, when BG, Turk, and Juvie left the label. Remember that? And Lil Wayne was on the label. Big Timers was still on the label, but they weren't as hot as they were. They didn't stay hot for all those years. There were fall off periods. And then eventually Wayne got up there and they got more talent. And they're confusing Cash Money with Young Money. Young Money basically is a different label than Cash Money. It's all under the same umbrella, but I'm not going to give that to Cash Money. But let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. Is Cash Money the best rap label of all time? Let me know what y'all think about that. Let me go into the Brittney Griner situation. Brittney Griner. Now, for those who don't know, WNBA star Brittney Griner was released from the Russian prison. It was a prison swap for a Russian prisoner that was here in America that, from my understanding, I think he was a what was he, y'all? what was he? I know he was a big time criminal, and they talking about some. Yeah, Russia got their plug back, but when it came to us, we got Joanna, man. They wilding out. But I know my brother wanted me to speak on this. And this is what I'll have to say about it, as you see in the title right there, is Brittney Griner's release a political move for the Democrats? What I want to say on this is I think that this is just a political move for the Democrats. Oh, you said arms dealer. Thanks, Beasley. Thanks, Beasley. Now, this is the reason I say this, right? So with that, first of all, that's not an even exchange, but I feel that since Trump announced that he's going to be running again, Democrats, they need all hands on deck. All hands on deck. Because they know what Trump's capability is. They know how close the last election was, and they don't want Trump getting in office. They don't want to lose the presidency. I wonder if Biden is even running again. Y'all think Biden gonna run it again? But anyway, Trump is coming, y'all. Trump is coming. So what better way to make sure that we get the black vote than to use this symbolism of us freeing one of them? Because let me tell you this, it wasn't the LGBT community that made an uproar about Brittney Griner. It wasn't any of the white community, no other community. It was no national media, no major coverage on it. It was the grassroots. It was black people that made an uproar about Brittney Griner. I first started seeing this on Facebook posts. And I'm not talking about from news outlets, not media outlets. These were people's statuses and memes that were shared. It's been 40 days and Brittney Griner is still in Russia. It's been 50 days and Brittney Griner is still in Russia being detained and da. And then eventually it started to make national media. CNN started covering it and it got to Joe Biden. But if it wasn't for the black community, they wouldn't be talking about this. The LGBT, the community that she's a part of, wasn't making an uproar about this. So I bring that up just to say it's a political move, possibly. This is just me, my thoughts on it, because I just don't think that if it wasn't no mass press about it, that Joe Biden would have really felt the need to make a swap to do it. It's just ironic that since Trump is running again, the boogeyman, they're like, okay, and the thing is, the black community has showed that they haven't been supportive of Biden because we voted him in, but he's not, quote unquote, doing anything for us, even though he didn't promise to do anything for us anyway. I already knew this, but it seems to me that this is just a big political move. She was already a political pawn anyway with Russia. You know what I'm saying? And if you ask me, I do think that they had her in those extreme conditions because not only she's black, I do believe it's because she was gay as well. I believe that, you know. I don't think if it was just a heterosexual female, they would have done what they, because from my understanding, they took her to those working camps where then the conditions are terrible. They put her to work. And I do feel that her being gay has something to do with it. That's me personally. I don't like to tie and correlate the gay struggle with the black struggle, but I do feel like that may have had something to do with how they were treating her over there. And on top of that, she's black, of course, right? A lot of people don't play that in countries. You know, they don't do that. Like the whole gay thing that what we do here, they don't play that over there. So I do feel like they were trying to make an example out of her because she was black, because she was gay, and because of the situation that's going on with Ukraine and all that, right? But yeah, I think that they wanted to make sure they secure the black vote and to impress black people because we go off symbolism. I guarantee you that they're going to dangle this like a carrot in front of our faces come election time. Well, we did get Brittney Griner out. They're going to act like that's a form of reparations because that's how they do. That's how they do. This black people talk like they're talking about the Democrats don't do anything. We got Brittney Griner out, and it's like, oh, okay, y'all. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So Beasley, you said it's about Putin and Ukraine. Well, be that as it may, it could be. We know it's political. We can agree on that. We can definitely agree on that. America didn't free her or swap her out for the kindness of their heart, from the kindness of their heart. We know they didn't do for that. They didn't care about that girl. They could have been got her out. Let's be real. They could have been got her out. It's just that they had to make sure that their moves were straight. Look, I feel like it was more so of Trump, but I'm not going against what you're saying either. I could be wrong, but I do know it's political. I do feel like this is definitely political. Shout out to everybody for watching right now. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/ResView. Also, make sure you follow me at JAYR3D and donate to the Cash App that's right down there. But yeah, that's what I feel about it. But nonetheless, I'm happy she's home. She is one of us, and I'm glad. Her getting those 9 years in America, it ain't nothing for, to get that for a marijuana charge. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even have that much, but it was messed up how they was doing her, and she would have had to been over there for 9 years. Terrible conditions. I haven't been to prison, but if I had to choose, I would think I would want to be in America more so than Russia or any other country. Yeah, you're right. Uncle Sam don't do nothing out of the kindness of her. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, I'm glad she's home, y'all. Despite who they swapped out with. And we're gonna joke. Black folks gonna joke. They already calling her Joanna Man and stuff like that. But I'm really, really, really happy she's home at the end of the day. Now let's talk about your boy, Kanye. Let's talk about Kanye West. He's been doubling down going against Jewish people. I want to play a certain video, but I think that it might mess up my monetization because, it might be considered hate speech or whatever like that, even though I'm just reporting the news. But Kanye has been doubling down, showing up on Alex Jones's show and different shows. These people are still giving him a platform to display this anti-Semitic rhetoric out here. And I don't know if y'all saw it, but Kanye basically said that Jewish people need to forget about the Holocaust. Not forget about the Holocaust. Let me say it in proper context. He said that they need to forgive Hitler. He said, let it go. They need to forgive Hitler. And I'm like, oh, man. Now, you have some people saying, well, they tell us to forget about slavery. Oh, slavery was so long ago. Anytime it comes to stuff with us, it was long ago. With Kyrie and Kanye, they let everybody have it. The black community have it, right? And all Kyrie did was share a tweet. He just tweeted. No message behind it. Not, hey, y'all, check this out. Check this out right here. Just tweeted it. And he got scrutinized. But when it came to Jerry Jones, right? His picture, they were saying, oh, that was a long time ago. He was just a teenager. It's always that was that long ago, right? But that's how they do us with slavery. But a lot of people were just saying, like, man, nah, that's crazy. If you're gonna go at it and go for the jugular, I hope you go at it all the way, yeah. But do y'all think that he'll be able to bounce back from this? And he may not want to bounce back. When I define bounce back, I'm saying if the Jewish community will accept him, will they be able to get over what he has done? Do y'all think so? Yes or no? I want to know about his plan. For those who were saying that Kanye has this big plan, it's a month now. I think it's been like a month. Y'all got any sign of a plan? I'm still trying to figure it out. What is the plan? Because to me, it looked like he self-sabotaged himself for no reason. What was the reason? If you ask me, I think that Kanye is upset. First of all, he has a mental illness, right? He's mentally ill. And I think that largely this has to do with his wife leaving him. Kim K left him. She divorced him. He has 4 kids. If you got 4 kids by somebody, man, that's a big deal. That's a real, real big deal. But I think that took its toll on him. And he's letting that out on everybody else and is ready and willing to self-destruct. And the point that he's trying to prove, I have no idea. I have no idea why he's doing it. If he has some type of logical reasoning, maybe we could see what it is, but I don't see it. In the words of Michael Jordan, Republicans buy shoes too. Boy, you a fool. Boy, you a fool. But yeah, man, Kanye has just been off his rocker, man. Now, of course, he blabbers some stuff and he states the truth sometimes. But I want to know my Kanye supporters up in here. What do you think he's trying to prove? He was saying stuff that we already know, but now it's Kanye doubling down. Kanye versus Jewish people. And it's like, damn, we get it. We get it. It went from they're controlling everything to I appreciate what Hitler did. I can find the good in what Hitler did. And it's just like, damn, bro, where are you trying to go with this? Are you trying to get them to physically hurt you or something? Like, I don't get it. Because I can't say if a white man had a public platform, which they do, and they just saying, let slavery go. I can see the good in slavery. Oh, we ready to go throw hands, man. So in respect to Jewish people that went through the Holocaust, I just don't know what point he's trying to prove. He lost billions of dollars for what? For what? For telling the truth? Something that we already knew? As far as Jewish people run the media, Hollywood or whatever, right? Jewish people have power. We all know that. I don't think he was telling us something we didn't already know. So help me out. I don't know. And this is the platform for you to voice what you think, because a lot of y'all weren't making sense then and you're not making sense now. You're not even trying to talk about it now. That's the funny part. You ask them where they are, they're not saying anything. It's always funny when that type of stuff happens. But yeah, man, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, do y'all think that he'll ever be? What could he do to bounce back and be in their good graces again? What do y'all think? Because he told them to let it go, let it go, let it go. That's hilarious. But yeah, man, it's been good kicking it with y'all, man. Tried not to go over an hour on this. But shout out to my homie J-Rod. You said I'm not giving him bail. I just know he's running for president. Yes, this is true. This is true. Shout out to J-Rod from Recognition. Y'all got to check it out. Check out Recognition, man. Scratches and from the club to the last song, one of my favorite R&B songs right there. But yeah, you said you're not giving him bail. I know he's running for president. Yes, this is true. This is true. But if you're trying to do that, I don't know. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but what I will say is that I don't think this is it. Yay. If you running for president, you don't need to be doing this in order to get votes. I don't know what you're trying to do. You said 45 did it. But was he going at the Holocaust though? Going at Jewish people? I know he was saying a lot of stuff, but was he doubling down on Jewish people and telling them to forgive Hitler and all this other stuff that Kanye is doing? He was going at folks though. Yeah, you saying build the wall, but build the wall, to me, that's, if you put them together, I guess maybe you may have a point. I ain't gonna go against that. I ain't gonna go against that all the way. But it's harder because Kanye is black. White people run the country, so we live in their system, so they can kind of get away with saying stuff like that a little bit. But Kanye has just been going in, like, he don't really have and this is the difference between Ye and Trump. Trump had a backing. Trump spoke to a certain sector of America. He had a backbone. For all his BS that he put out there, he had a backbone. What backbone does Kanye have outside of his cult following? Which is diverse, but the more and more people that he pisses off, it just gets smaller and smaller and smaller. The black community is not backing Kanye up because he didn't sold out to us plenty of times, called us. It's like he chooses when to pick on us or whatnot. He don't care what he says to us, how he says what he says to us, all that stuff. So he don't really have a backing. That's the difference between him and Trump. You know what I'm saying? But I just hope that he knows what he's doing. I hope he knows what he's doing. If this is the strategic plan to become president, hey man, go ahead and do what you do. But yeah, man, let me get up out of here, y'all. I got some stuff to do. Didn't want to go over an hour. Just wanted to get on here and chop up game with y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. Make sure, again, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Share it. Get this show out here to let other people see it. And also check out the Man Cave discussion. Great episode that I did the other day, talking about relationships, women pursuing men, millennial men, and what they can do. What the man's thoughts. These are man's thoughts. One more comment. You said he was a dude that said Sandy Cook. Yeah, Alex Jones. Alex Jones is wild, man. But yeah, man, let me get up out of here, man. Again, shout out to everybody for watching. Subscribe. This is J Red Resview signing out.